Another major sponsor of the San Diego Pride Festival bails out.
San Diego County leaders are touting the success of the Sheriff Department's fentanyl enforcement team. I'll tell you about the millions of dollars worth of drugs they've confiscated.
What does containment, forward rate of spread mean? It can get confusing. We're working for you on the fire terms you need to know.
The famous clownfish, made popular by the hit animated movie Finding Nemo, is finding a new way to respond to warming ocean water.
We're honoring this year's classroom heroes, and in just a moment, one of them is about to win a 5-day Kona Kai getaway.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
A budget battle continued at City Hall tonight as the San Diego City Council decides whether or not to override Mayor Todd Gloria's changes. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price, in tonight for Carlo Cicchetto. Last week, the mayor restored but also blocked several proposals made by the council. CBS 8's Brian White joins us now live from City Hall with what council members decided. Brian.
Steve and Marcella, it is finally over. This lengthy budget process has come to an end after a lot of back and forth, a lot of passion from all sides. But just about 2 hours ago, the council voted to partially override many of Mayor Gloria's vetoes, with a few exceptions and a few reductions. Now, here's what we know. The restoration of some hours at libraries and lakes and reservoirs has been maintained, and there are a lot of people relieved about that. But they did take some reductions to brush management and stormwater funding in somewhat of a compromise with the mayor's proposed changes. I'm told by Council President Joe LaCava that there is still a lot of money in the budget for these very important items, and also they're cutting the chief operating officer position, which was a point of contention, and the mayor will be handling those duties for now. Now, I talked with Council President Joe LaCava just moments ago. Here's what he had to say about moving forward.
Now we have to really come together, the council and the mayor, figure out how we're going to move forward and make sure we deliver city services, we keep that budget balanced, and deliver what San Diegans want.
And the mayor just released a statement regarding revenue projections that he thinks may not pan out as planned. He said, quote, if their assumptions don't hold, they'll be responsible for the fallout, mid-year cuts, layoffs, facility closures, brownouts, and broken promises to the communities we all serve, end quote. So again, Steve and Marcella, the process is finally over. The city now has a budget in place for fiscal year 2026, and we'll continue to update you with anything else we learn. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Brian. President Trump took to social media today to announce both Israel and Iran have agreed to a ceasefire deal.
This is a move President Trump said would end the more than week-long conflict between the two countries. And so far, there has not been any official word from either Israel or from Iran. The announcement follows Iran launching short and medium-range missiles at a U.S. airbase in Qatar. The attack came in retaliation for U.S. strikes on 3 key Iranian nuclear sites. A U.S. defense official says there have been no reports of any U.S. casualties.
This is the home of U.S. Central Command. There are a range of critical assets at this base, drones, aircraft, and more.
We'll hear from lawmakers on Capitol Hill about the president's actions and what one Republican is calling for. That's coming up in our next half hour.
Just in tonight, UC San Diego Health laid off roughly 230 healthcare workers at its clinics and hospitals today. UCSD Health says the layoffs were in response to financial pressure brought on by rising costs and federal funding cuts. The union representing some of those workers says pharmacists, lab scientists, and social workers were among those let go. They also say the system is already dealing with a staffing crisis, and these layoffs could seriously affect patient care. Breaking news tonight, one of the lead sponsors of the San Diego Pride celebration is withdrawing its support.
Harrah's Resort Southern California has been a major financial contributor to the Pride Parade in the past. As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, the withdrawal comes on the heels of other groups bailing out.
The latest sponsor to withdraw from the San Diego Pride Festival is Harrah's Resort Southern California. Described as a presenting sponsor, Harrah's donates tens of thousands of dollars to the event. Earlier this month, a group of former San Diego Pride board members sent out this letter demanding a leadership change at San Diego Pride. I asked longtime San Diego LGBTQ activist Nicole Murray Ramirez why this is happening.
some of our leadership and some of our organizations, I hate to say it, are very left-wing and very out of touch with our community at large.
UC San Diego Health bailed out as a sponsor 2 weeks ago due to comments against Israel made by singer Kalani, the headlining act set to perform at the Pride Fest. Elected leaders and the Jewish community also will not participate in the festival for similar concerns.
Their agenda is definitely supporting the anti-Semitic singer and saying that it's a freedom of speech when it's obviously hate speech. Hate speech doesn't belong in Pride.
Last Friday, the military contingent announced it will not be participating out of safety concerns, according to Marine veteran and former chair of the Pride Military Department, Clay Kilpatrick. He also noted the fear of Trump factor.
You know, when we talk about safety, we talk, there's physical safety and there's career safety. You know, how much blowback are they going to get if, you know, they're seen marching in this parade, even though they've been marching since 2012?
CBS 8 will be airing the San Diego Pride Parade live on the CW and streaming on CBS 8 Plus. Pride issued a statement to CBS 8 saying, in part, there is a coordinated attack on San Diego Pride taking place. We understand that some of our community members are frustrated at this moment. However, many of these new attacks on the organization are aimed at undermining its leadership. Of course, the San Diego Pride Festival does have more than 100 sponsors. At this point, it appears the festival and the parade will still take place on the weekend of July 19th and 20th. In Hillcrest, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
And Pride's interim executive director, Kristen Flickinger, is promising that she'll do an on-camera interview with CBS 8 later this week. We've posted Pride's full written statement on our website, cbs8.com.
San Diego County leaders say the Sheriff's Department's new fentanyl enforcement team is proving to be a success.
And they say it's having an incredible impact on our community. CBS 8's Alex Cheney is at the County Administration Building with these new results. Alex.
Yeah, Stephen Marcella, that meeting ended just about an hour ago over here at the County Admin Building with the supervisor, Joel Anderson, really thanking the Sheriff's Department for the excellent success of their fentanyl enforcement team. They say they got $1 million and millions of pills off the street. Last year, Supervisor Anderson successfully advocated for about $500,000 in the county budget for a dedicated team within the Sheriff's Office to fight against fentanyl. The fentanyl enforcement team seized fentanyl worth more than $22 million and other drugs. They also led to 59 arrests, 11 weapons seized, and large quantities of several types of drugs being confiscated by the sheriffs. Supervisor Anderson complimented the work by Sheriff Kelly Martinez and talked about the impact of getting those dangerous drugs off the street.
What we addressed was over $20 million worth of drugs, over 1.5 million pills. Just think about those pills not in our high schools, not in our colleges, not on our streets, not addressing our youth, and how many families and youth have been saved because they're not on the streets.
Supervisor Anderson also said he did get another $500,000 to put it in the county's budget this year so that fentanyl enforcement program can continue their good work. Reporting here live from the County Admin Building, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Alex, thank you. Researchers led by UC San Diego simulated the effects of two powerful earthquakes this morning on a 10-story cold-formed steel building built on the university's shake table in Scripps Ranch. The building is outfitted with cameras and sensors that give researchers and engineers important data that they can use for future building design.
Every type of structural system that we test gives us new knowledge, new understanding, improved knowledge and understanding on how these type of structures respond to earthquakes.
By the way, today's test simulated the magnitude 6.9 Loma Prieta earthquake that struck the Bay Area back in 1989 and the magnitude 6.7 Northridge earthquake that hit Southern California in 1994. A San Diego family's unique tribute to a longtime aerospace engineer launched this afternoon. His remains were sent to space.
Wesley Dreyer passed away last October at the age of 77. He worked as an engineer for Lockheed Martin and was instrumental in investigating the Challenger shuttle explosion. His family says sending his ashes into space fulfills his lifelong dream to travel to space. The ashes aboard Celestis Incorporated's Perseverance flight will orbit Earth, then land in the Pacific Ocean to be recovered and returned to his family as a keepsake. Fernando Tatis Jr. is taking a big swing in court.
The details we're learning about a lawsuit filed by the Padres superstar today. That's coming your way straight ahead. Plus, terminology used by fire officials may not mean exactly what you think it means, so we are working for you. We're going to break down what you need to know to stay safe.
And how Americans are staying cool as summer kicks off with an intense heat wave in parts of the country.
Yeah, all from a ridge of high pressure that we had to deal with last week that brought the hot and dry conditions inland. Over the weekend, we shifted gears talking about area of low pressure overhead. You're seeing some cloud cover for tonight. More of that as we go into tomorrow morning. A chance for some patchy drizzle. Details ahead.